Listen while your ears can hear. Listen while your ears can hear. The Master's calling. The Master's calling. Bow down while your knees still bend. Bow down while your knees still bend. The Master's calling. The Master's calling. I don't wanna walk away from Him. No, no, no. No, I don't wanna walk away from Him. Bind me to your side. Bind me to your side. Hi friends, welcome back to the channel. I'm ThandiwekaYah. It's a brand new week. I'm excited for this week. I'm excited for the prophetic word that we have today. So friends, before I get into the word, let me just give that quick disclaimer. Please remember that not every word is meant for you, and if you believe that this word is meant for you, please take it to the Lord, pray about it, talk to Him about it, let Him speak to you about it, and take it from there. It's important to also test the spirit. It's also important to be in your word so that you can also just have a better understanding of what the Lord is saying to you directly with regards to any prophetic word that you may receive. And friends, just also to add, I don't have all the answers. I'm just giving you what the Lord has given me, and that's why I encourage you to go to the Lord, to take it to Him with the questions that you may have with regards to the word. Okay, so without much more delay, let's jump into the word. So this came from a dream that I had on the 13th of January. Where are we today? I think it's the 14th today, so this was yesterday. Okay, so in this dream, I remember just being shown a map, and as I looked at this map, I just thought, wow, oh my goodness, I know this place. I have been here. I traveled this road. I went up that hill. It was such a moment in the dream where I was like, I know this, I've been through this. I traveled this road. I traveled this hill. It was an upward road. It was a hill. It was a mountain, in fact. I traveled that mountain. And it was almost as if, not even almost as if, it was, that map was showing me a dream that I had previously. It was saying, you've dreamt this dream, and this is the map. It was so profound to me. And yeah, that was pretty much the dream. It's such an interesting one because that map was a journey. It was such a journey for me, and I remember just being so excited about how I've been there. I traveled that road and I overcame it. And so what God was showing me when I asked Him about the dream, He said that many of you have been through the wilderness, you've transitioned, and you are in your promised land, but you have forgotten a lot of the things that the Lord taught you in the wilderness. I almost said in the promised land. You've forgotten the lessons that you've learned in the wilderness. You are faced with so much opposition right now in your promised land that you're in a state of either fight or flight. You can't think straight. You're in this defense mode. You're looking for what's the next thing that's going to come up and mess up what's happening in my life. You're not in a mode where you are able to receive from the Lord, to receive wisdom. You can't think straight, and God is saying you need to stop that. You really need to stop that, because he equipped you in the wilderness, and it's time for you to remember the lessons that you learned in the wilderness. Him showing me the map in the dream was saying, you have traveled this road. You went through the wilderness experience, and there were so many things that you learned there. This map was busy. It had a lot of elements in it. And what God was saying is, there's so much that you've learned. The key element that came across was an elephant. God gave me the symbol of an elephant. So for me, I love elephants. I think elephants are the most beautiful creatures. But obviously, I'm not going to base the interpretation on that. So I asked the Lord, what did this elephant symbolize on the map? And he said, resilience and invincibility. Is that even a word? And a thick skin. So what he's saying is that while you were in the wilderness, you grew a thick skin. You became invincible against the attacks of the enemy. And God is saying that a lot of you have forgotten that. You are so caught up in all these attacks and all of this opposition. And God is saying, you need to remember what he taught you. You need to remember that you now have a thick skin, that you are resilient, that you are equipped, that you can take on whatever the devil is throwing at you. The devil is going to continuously throw stuff at you, and God is saying you need to be out of this mode of just being afraid and worried and anxious and or wanting to run. He's saying, come into a place of peace. Come and spend time with me. Remember what I have taught you. You have the skills. You passed the test. He has equipped you, and he wants you to succeed. He wants you to have joy in this time. He doesn't want to see you suffering and worrying about all these things. Some people still saying things like, I'm still in the wilderness. And it may be true for some, but for some of you, you're out of the wilderness. You don't recognize where you are. You don't recognize that you're no longer on that uphill climb. You don't recognize that you're no longer trying to climb the mountain, that you have overcome that. You grew resilient in your training, and now you are on level ground. You're in your promised land. You're in the place where you should be building, where you should be thriving, where you should be going forth in what the Lord has called you to do, but you're being held back. You are still holding on to the mindset that you had at the beginning of the wilderness, where you didn't know what was happening. So the first instinct was to run or to fight. God is saying you need to leave those old habits behind and remember what you learned in the wilderness. God says you have come a long way, and He's calling you to come into His presence, to spend time with Him, and to reflect on your time in the wilderness, to reflect on the lessons learned, to take each one and remember and recall what it is that He gave you. What is that precious lesson that He gave you, that thing that He taught you? He's saying, remember it, write it down if you have to, but spend time with Him. Let Him speak to you. Prayer time doesn't always have to be you just praying and talking and asking and pleading or whatever. God is saying that come into my presence, be silent. Let me remind you of where you've been. You have come a long way. You've soldiered and you've done so well. Don't let the devil steal those lessons from you. Remember those things and apply them in your life right now. Apply them with courage and excitement and joy, because you know what you overcame in the wilderness. God says you have overcome and you will continue to overcome. It's easier now, and God is saying that opposition will always be there, and that's why He had to equip you in the wilderness, for you to be able to face this opposition that is in your promised land. He never promised that there wouldn't be anything going wrong in your promised land, but He equipped you for it. So the uphill climb is over. You are now on level ground. Your promised land is on level ground. Your promised land is waiting for you to build on it, to do the things that God has created you to do, and to thrive, to walk into everything God has for you. God is saying too many of you are allowing the devil to steal your peace, to steal your joy. The devil will try and destroy you, and God is saying He has equipped you. You are able to stand against the attacks of the devil. Put on your armor, says the Lord. Yes, Lord. Put on your armor. Know your word. When you're in your word and you know your word, Nothing can stand in your way because you know the truth, and you can counter the lies of the devil with the truth. That's the sword of the Spirit. It's part of the armor. That's Ephesians 6, I think verse 10 onwards. I think up until verse 18. I'll put it up on the screen. Put on your armor and get out of this mode of anxiety and just receive what God has for you. Be in His presence. God says He will give you the wisdom that you need to thrive in your promised land. All you need to do is ask Him. Just as He equipped you in the wilderness, He will equip you in the promised land. He has got everything that you need. It's ready for you. All you need to do is walk into it. That's all you need to do, my friends. This is a short word today, to the point. God is saying, don't forget what I taught you in the wilderness. Remember that. Have faith. Have faith. Faith is such a key thing. A lot of you are struggling to have faith in the Lord and to believe His word. You're standing in your own way because God says everything is ready. All you need to do is remember. Remember who you are. If you remember who you are, you know what you're capable of. You know how the Lord has equipped you. So remember who you are, my friends. Remember the lessons you've learned. Remember the Lord your God. Remember how He brought you into the wilderness, out of it, and into your promised land. Why would He just leave you to die in your promised land? He won't. Okay, so that's the word I have for you today, my friends. I pray that it blesses you. It has certainly blessed me. Friends, again, I'm receiving a lot of emails, and please bear with me. There's no way that I can respond to every single email, and if you send me an email today, the chances of me responding on the same day are very, very slim, because I receive a lot of emails and I have many other things that I'm doing with my life at the moment. So I ask for your patience. I ask that you understand where I'm coming from. I'm alone in this. I don't have anyone assisting me. So I just need you guys to work with me, especially for those emails that do require a reply of some sort. For those who are asking for prayer requests, I am praying for you. I might respond if the Lord leads me to, but for most of the prayer requests, I'm not responding. I am praying over each one of you. I read every single email. For those of you who need a response on your emails, I will respond as I get to your email. Okay, so thank you so much, my friends. I love you. I think we're going to have a great week this week. I can feel it. I'm excited for you. God says just stand on His word. Stand on what He's told you. Remember everything that He's taught you, and you're going to be just fine. Okay, so remember that you serve a good, wonderful, loving Father who wants to see you succeed. He is on your side. He's on your side. He's not looking to punish you. He's not looking to block your path in any way because you said one bad word or you had some funny thought or you did something. God is on your side. When we do things that are wrong, that are not pleasing to Him, He doesn't just throw His hands in the air and say, well, that set you back 50 steps. No, He says, okay, let's pick up and take it from there. Let's deal with this matter and let's take it from there. Let's carry on. Let's push through. Okay, so remember that, my friends. He's a good Father. He is for you. He is for you. And you are so, so special to Him.